Hello! In this video, we'll talk about the immune system, more specifically the 3 layers of defense and all different types of leukocytes, which are white blood cells. Okay, so first of all, what is the immune system? It's your body's defense system that protects your body from pathogens. By the way, pathogens are disease-causing organisms. So first, the invading pathogens will meet up with some surface barriers that can be physical, chemical, or biological obstacles. The skin is the primary physical barrier. Chemical barriers can include stomach acid and tears. Biological barriers include the harmless bacteria that is on us at all times. So you're never alone. If the surface barriers don't work, the pathogens will meet up with the innate response. It's an immediate and non-specific response. We'll talk more about the innate response later. If the innate response fails, the adapted immune response will come in. It takes longer to go into effect, but it's a lot more effective, and remember the attack so that it can react faster if the same pathogen decides to come back. We'll talk more about the adaptive response later. Okay, so now you know all about the layers of defense. Let's talk about leukocytes now. Remember what leukocytes are? They're white blood cells. Come on, pay attention. First up are mast cells. These are involved in the innate response, and they are attracted to the cytokines that macrophages release. They are involved in wound healing, but they can also be responsible for allergic reactions. Second are the basophils. These are involved in the innate response too, and they're also attracted to the chemicals that macrophages release. Macrophages are very attractive. They specialize in defense against parasites. Like mast cells, they can also be responsible for allergic reactions. Neutrophils are summoned by macrophages, eosinophils, basophils, and mast cells because of the chemical cues they give off. Neutrophils are in the innate response too and are sort of like first responders at the site of an infection or trauma. They release toxins that kill/inhibit bacteria. They also recruit other immune cells to the site of infection. They can also sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Rest in peace, neutrophil. The others will avenge you. Now we're moving on to eosinophils. Eosinophils are involved in the innate response just like mast cells and basophils, and they are also attracted to the chemicals released by macrophages. They release toxins that murder bacteria, but they can also cause tissue damage. Next up, we have the macrophages. Macrophages are involved in the innate response, and they release inflammatory chemicals that attract other cells. But did you also know that macrophages are also involved in the adaptive immune response? They consume foreign pathogens and cancer cells. After macrophages, we got dendritic cells. They are involved in the adaptive immune response and are very, very effective. They present antigens on its surface by swallowing pathogens and cutting them into little pieces. Very violent. This triggers adaptive immunity. Dendritic cells are carried over to the lymph nodes and are matched with either a T cell or a B cell. Now I'm going to talk about them. T cells and B cells exist in tons of variations and are a part of the adaptive immune response. They each carry a unique surface protein that are like keys. Only the ones that unlock the invading pathogen are activated. They go into clonal expansion, and this process creates memory cells that are ready for future infections caused by the same pathogens. That's what I meant about the memory thing earlier. You remember that? Pay attention. They then travel to the site of the infection and destroy the pathogens. Or if they want to be more peaceful, they just neutralize them. So yeah, that's all you gotta know about the immune system.